this. It's the where we'd started talking about this before was in the context of sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
You see this with sports teams where there's like a family that owned it or a group of families that owned it and they cared about it. And yes, you can care too much, a la the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, but they care about it, and there's this culture that's there,
Yeah.
and what it feels like to go to a game, to be a fan of that team. But then in say the last 25 years, you've seen more and more companies like
Yeah.
corporations buying sports teams because it's kind of the vogue thing
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it's in vogue to as part of your corporate portfolio have a sports team or two.
Yeah.
And you see a change, like it's the Philadelphia Flyers fans this year are more or less in revolt for multiple reasons. It's Comcast purchased the team back in the mid 90s, but like the original owner was still in charge.
Mm.
While he sold the majority share, he was still kind of running the ship. He passed away a few years ago. And over those years, it was this slow creep. But like in the last season or two, you've really felt it where it's like it's no longer the team we've been cheering for forever. For me, since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Um, there's definitely a different feel, and you could tell that
It's a
the
business.
team, yeah, the ownership only just views it as a line item on the corporate balance sheet. That's it.
Yeah.
And like people, like at this point, like their social media, like anything they post, everybody just goes in and spams them with sell the team, sell the team, sell the team.
Yeah.
Like bring in ownership that gives a shit about the team,
Yeah.
um, and cares about winning.
Yeah. I think we were fortunate enough here in Utah to have a similar experience with the Miller family owning the Utah Jazz for most of my lifetime. Until very recently, they sold it to Ryan Smith, who was the founder of Qualtrics. Um, but yeah, they weren't a conglomerate. They weren't a corporation owning it. It was the Miller family owning it. And they took a very humanistic approach to running the team. And so it was about doing things a different way. And I think we were very fortunate to see that experience. And I'm hopeful that Ryan Smith takes that trajectory and continues it, because there are so many sports teams that it is a business. It's and still it's still a business. I'm not saying that to say that it's not run as a business. It's not run to be successful from a profitability and a financial, of course. But that's not everything. Going back to the Simon Sinek example that I think we've brought up quite a bit with his TED Talk, where he talks about revenue isn't a purpose, it's a result. For so many of these sports teams that are owned by conglomerates, their purpose is revenue. And for so many of the analytics agencies in our space that are owned by conglomerates, their purpose is revenue. And revenue isn't a purpose, it's a result. And it's no wonder that fans in Philadelphia or buyers of analytics services that are buying from conglomerates are saying this is a really crappy experience. Well, yeah, because you're buying from someone that has made revenue their purpose, and almost always that's going to create a really crappy experience. And going back to the restaurant example, that's why they became crappy experiences, because revenue was their purpose. It wasn't to create amazing food. It wasn't to create lasting memories over generations. It was how can we make the most revenue that we can? And that decision where you make revenue your purpose almost universally is guaranteed to make for bad
Mhm.
experiences.
And it's fun.